welcome to the game. My name's Cookie, but if a detective visits you, I'm Brent. Alright, 2 players, 1 game. We could make a viral video about this. Let's do this. This is round 1, and that means you get 500 points for fooling your opponent with your made-up answer. And you'll get 1,000 for finding the truth. Alright, pick a category. Okay, here's your first question. In 2013, researchers at the University of Tokyo developed the incendiary reflection, a mirror that makes it look like you're blank. Now use your device to type a lie that might fool your opponent into believing it. If you can't think of anything in time, use the Lie For Me button for half the points. Do it now! Okay, there are your choices. Find the truth and enter it on your device by touching the answer you want. Okay, let's take a look. And the rest of the board goes unselected. Time to pick a category. Okay, here's the question. Allgrim Acres is a 9-hole miniature golf course oddly located in an Illinois blank. Type in your lies now. Okay, here you go. Find the truth. Let's see what everybody selected. It's hard to get your ball out of the cup, though. Those holes are 6 feet deep. And we're done. Select a category. Okay, here's the question. It's time for a road trip. When in Port Vila, Vanuatu, be sure to check out their post office, which is unusual because it is blank. Enter your lies now. Okay, here are your choices. Okay, what did everyone pick? Unlike American post offices that are just metaphorically underwater. And nobody picked the other lies up there. Now it's round 2, where all point values are doubled. Let's do it. Time to pick a category. Okay, here's the question. Bill Bennett made news in 2004 when he was able to sell just a single ordinary blank on eBay. Type in your lies now. Okay, which one's the truth? Alright, let's see what everybody picked. And look what we have here. And that means this lie didn't get picked. All right, pick a category. Okay, here's the question. A man in Florida was arrested for calling 911 to complain that he wasn't allowed to bring his blank into a strip club. Enter your lies now. All right, where's the truth? All right, who picked what? And nobody fell for some of these ingenious lies. Time to pick a category. Okay, here's the question. George Frankel is the CEO of a Georgia-based company that will turn your dead relative's ashes into blank. Type in your lies now. Okay, here you go. Find the truth. Okay, what did everyone pick? It's part 1 of the 5 stages of Reef. And that means some of these didn't get picked. Welcome to the final fibbage. This is your final question, and it's worth triple. It's anybody's game. Okay, here is your final fibbage question. What Dr. Edgar Parker legally changed his name to in order to help his dental practice? Enter your lies now. Okay, here are your choices. Let's see what everybody selected. He drove Dr. Hertz like a bitch right out of business. And that's it. Nobody else's lies got picked.
Okay, we're set.
This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff. I bet you two are going to find this game very challenging. Don't ask me how I know. Handle those screws carefully. If you think another player is clueless, screw them and make them answer immediately. If they miss it, you win extra cash. And our wrong answer of the game is brought to you by
the San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
Find the wrong answer associated with our sponsor to get yourself some sweet prizes and bonus cash. Okay, it's time.
Get ready, time for question 1.
First question, Bootyful. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%? Players 1 and 2? Now pay attention. Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, Mama gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Say it so.
Pucker up for his acting is alright. So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages, the McCona Industrial Age, the McCona Middle Ages, or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Player 1. All wrong. Player 2. The Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
Next up, brought to you by the letter Unibrow.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count. Bert, Ernie, the Count. The Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. Players 1 and 2? What were you thinking there? Watch how easy this is. Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows! And yet, none of them have ever blinked. May I introduce Duck Duck Swan? Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Siegfried, Benno, Von Rothbart, or Odette? Player 2, honest mistake. Player 1, cue the swan song. Here's what you meant to pick. Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college.
5 fingers!
And on its way, the man in the backwards yellow hat. And it's a dis or dat. Player 1. You're in last place, so I choose you to play this dis or dat. I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one, you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber, or an antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. Player 2, lock in your answer before player 1, because if player 1 gets it wrong and you get it right, you steal the cash. Alright, let's get started. Peed in a mop bucket. Broke his leg falling from a fire escape. Arrested for falsely reporting a fire. Egged a house. Got high on ether. Fed a bugle to an ostrich. Went to a Brazilian brothel. I always believed in you. I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. We've finished round 1. Don't forget, in round 2, all the cash is doubled. And lest you forget, the wrong answer of the game is still there for the taking. Alright, you ready? Too bad. Take a stab at Dumber and Dumberer 2. So, there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Player 1. Hey, way to be wrong! Player 2. Now that's just the dumberest answer I ever heard. This would have worked. Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Here's one I like to call, Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go. At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. Players 1 and 2? You may not know how temperatures work. Were you thinking of this one? 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know, blah blah blah, he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
Next, Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus?
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First spotted in 1879. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus? Player 2. Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Player 1. That's just nuts. Up next, wine or lose. If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington... Player 2? What a pity. Player 1. It was begging to be picked. Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. Take a good look at I Wanna Lick and Roll All Night. If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep, or players 1 and 2? I don't think that's even as long as the tongue he already has. Let me show you something. An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Brace yourself for the attack. When you see 2 clues... Oh, do you need to be somewhere? My mistake. Here's your clue. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck. Takes it! Well, player 1, you ended up with more cash than player 2, but since both of you ended up below 0, you owe me money. I'll accept checks or money orders made out to...